Snake Mountain went up for pre-order today on Amazon, plus we have more official images, so join us as we discuss the latest MOTU news with special cameos from Dragon Blaster Skeletor and Snakeface right now on Toy Habits Live. And before we go live, smash that like button, turn on notifications, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss a beat. Hey everyone, welcome back to Toy Habits. I'm Michael.
And I am the Toy Sorceress, and I'm getting down to our cool beat on the opening, and you're watching Toy Habits Live. How you doing, Michael?
I am good. It was a rough work week, and the day started out fantastic today, so I'm just happy to be here and have it be the weekend, and we have tons of news, but happy to be here with everybody. What is up, Toy Sorceress? How are you?
I am good too. I'm so happy it's the weekend. I had a very rough work week. Same as you. I was buried underwater yesterday too. But so happy it's the weekend, and hilarious enough, we both jumped on the first story we're going to cover at the exact same time this morning and dove in to get the website updated. So that was pretty funny.
Oh my gosh, that was so funny because like we wake up probably really early on the morning, probably too early for a Saturday or a weekend for most people, but it's always interesting what we find to cover during the day. So we had great minds think alike because we had the same idea.
I'm gonna thank the noisy, chirpy birds behind my bedroom window that just thought to themselves, "Hey, it's spring, and I'm gonna wake you up at the crack of dawn." And then, sure enough, I picked up my phone and saw Snake Mountain official images. Oh my god, my mind was blown.
It's awesome.
So I ran to my computer.
So exciting. And I wasn't expecting this until at least the 28th when Entertainment Earth was going to do their pre-order. So this was just a very nice surprise today. All right. Let's.
Sorry, you froze up for a second.
That's all right. I think, it's all good. We are back now. All right. So I'm going to just say hello to our crew before we get into this, and wanted to send a special shout out to Trenton, Nomad Giraffe, Ryan, Frankie, Dave, Mr. Home Arcade, Allison Clint, Christian, Brick Something, Daniel, Tim, Charlie, Pride of Grayskull, Baroness of Toys, Payne's Toy Samples, Manic Plastic Toy Shop, Retro Southpaw, Brendan Barnes, Master of the Mini Comics, Bo, Robert, Frank, Joe, and Atomic Yeti. All part of the crew. Very happy that you were here. So thank you so much. And if you want to join the crew, just go to the desktop version on YouTube and you can see the varying levels of support you can bring to the channel.
Yeah, that crew is growing, and they're an amazing group of people. We have a lot of fun with them.
Definitely. And I want to give a special birthday shout out to Allison Troy. So she is one of our Toy Habits crew members and bestie of the channel. So hope you had a fantastic birthday.
Happy birthday, Allison. I'm sorry I missed it yesterday. I literally was working till 10 o'clock last night. So I was buried.
Yes, always happy to celebrate birthdays, and it's very exciting. Like, I mean, we're all kids at heart, but of course we all get older.
And of course, She-Ra, what a better way to celebrate than with She-Ra herself.
Yes, exactly. Yes, Allison reminds me of She-Ra, so.
Yes, totally.
All right, do we want to dive into who is on the chat right now?
Let's say hello to the chat. We got Vex Stoppel, Brennan Barnes, crew member. We got Frank Pryor, crew member as well. Joe Coleman's on the line, part of our crew. We got the crew out here, man. Ravs, and Rant. How's it going? Clint Jorgensen, again, another crew member, is on the line. And I really want to thank Brennan Barnes for this amazing $10 super chat. You are the best. Thank you, Brennan, for all your support. So Brennan says, for saving my child from that burning building, if I had my favorite child, be more. I'm not sure what that means. But thank you for the super chat, Brennan. We got All Music Fan here. Nelson A is in the house. Darren Soda's here. Hortables is in the house.
Let me stop it.
Go
Let me
ahead.
stop at Hortables. I wanted to give a shout out to
Yeah.
him just because he was one of 2 people that alerted us to the Snake Mountain pre-order today. So just wanted to give a special
thank you,
shout out
Hortables. You
to Hortables. Look him up on Instagram. Same name. Go follow him. Really great guy.
He is awesome. And the birthday girl is in the house. Allison Troy, happy belated birthday. I'm sorry I missed it yesterday. Silver K is in the house, and smack that like button, you're all. Come on.
Yeah.
Smack it.
Smack it. Rub it.
Here. We got Jose Creative TV. Cora is in the house. We've got Revervision. Master Versal Toy Hunter is in the house. I think I already said Mike Fee. And Matthew Lee is here. Helder Santos is in the house. Damien Ristori. Carlos Caceros is here too. Carlos is a good friend of the channel as well, and digs up a lot of great dirt for us. Meg is here. And we got Christopher Baez. Laura V is in the house, another really great friend of the channel.
What's up, Laura?
Sunny Sunshine is here too. We got Neil Hill. I'm going to go real fast. Studio Hedge Kenton is here. Daddy of Warfare God, the chat just exploded. Giraffe, which is a crack up, and part of our crew is in the house as well. Lauren Spontorna, and I think Tiberian Hanger is here too. Welcome, Tiberian Hanger. Danny Phillips is in the house as well. I think I got everybody. So welcome to the group. We have an awesome show for you today. A lot of exciting toy news that happened this week. And it was basically like the last 2 days where everything just blew up. Before we dive into the toy news, I think, Michael, you wanted to share something first.
Yeah, so we had launched our let's see, let me get these up. We had launched our merch shop a couple weeks, and so orders are getting into our viewers' hands. So we're really appreciative of that. So here are just some really cool pictures that folks from the community sent. We have Kiko modeling the Toy Habits crew member tee, and Joe got a Toy Habits He-Man shirt. And Toy Sorcerers, what is special about the He-Man shirt and all of the other shirts that feature these toys?
Well, what is special about it is that all those shirts that feature toys are toys from my personal collection that I personally photographed myself, and I made all of the designs. So when you buy a Toy Habits shirt, you got a little piece of the Toy Sorcerers personal collection with you, which is awesome.
Gotta get a piece
it's so cool seeing like my He-Man on a T-shirt. Like, I mean,
it's so cool.
All right, I mean, this is my lineup.
So cool. So awesome. Yeah, we also got some more pictures. Clint got another couple t-shirts, and that Crimson Guard t-shirt came out amazing. Or sorry, the Crimson Twins. I always say Crimson Guard.
I actually ordered myself one of those too, so it's on its way. And the shirts shipped out super fast. I was like shocked. Literally within hours of it being ordered, it went into production, and then within a couple days it was shipped off. And that tumbler that Brennan Bard's got is really cool.
Yes. It is awesome. So shout out to the community who just is supporting the heck out of this. So amazing.
Yeah, thank you guys. We really, really appreciate it. We hope you enjoy the stuff because it's like fun shirts and things that you wouldn't be able to buy anywhere else. Like no one else is going to make these like fun designs. So I figured, hey, we love toys, and those are our favorite toys. And I'll keep doing more actually. I actually expanded the line a couple days ago, right, Michael?
Oh, you did? Yes.
I actually did, and let's go ahead and show that to the gang. There we go. If you guys don't know, when you go onto our website, if you go to shop on the corner over here and you go to official merch, our merch page loads up, and we got all this really cool stuff on here. The hats are now available. We got those working, so if you guys like the hats, go for it. We got MOTU, we got Thundercats, we have GI Joe, Star Wars shirts. These are really cute. I know they've been popular, the Star Wars designs. But what I added this week, which you never see anymore, is actually superpowers. Really cool superpowers designs. I got the Batmobile. You got the whole Justice League over here. Superman and Clark Kent. Some of the baddies, Penguin and Joker. Superman with the Supermobile, and they are available in t-shirts. I put them on the mugs. So we got them all right here, and you can also get bags. They're cool bags to carry all your toys from toy hunting. Every time you go toy hunting. Sorry, there's an ad in the way.
Pays the bills.
So anyway, I know. I had to get it out of the way. But this was fun because I love superpowers, and there isn't any merchandise available that I've seen on the mass market. So here's your chance to get some cool superpowers merchandise if you want.
Sounds good. All right, so let's dive into the news of the day. And before we dive in too far, I just wanted to give another shout out to Horribles and also the Surveillance Port, who is on Instagram, who drops a lot of GI Joe news. Also gave us a heads up today. So really appreciate the community. We are all one community. Go follow the Surveillance Port on Instagram. He is awesome.
Thank you so much. That is amazing. So what we are going to take a look at now is I think we're going to start out with the news that is on everybody's front of mind, and that is Snake Mountain. Official images dropped this morning, and then sleuth of all sleuths, with some help from some of our viewers, and I'll let Michael talk about that. The Amazon pre-orders were live, and somehow you sniffed those out, Michael. So why don't you tell our crew how you got those?
That was crazy because I know that Planet Eternia dropped a link to Amazon Germany this morning, and so I was like, there has to be a US counterpart. And I think so this is where Horribles and Surveillance Port came in. They just sent me the links, and I was like, it makes my job in life so much easier when people do that. So it was,
and I know your backdoor method that you used. Yes. That's awesome. So I was actually out picking up some bagels this morning when all of a sudden I looked down at my phone and it was like Snake Mountain's on Amazon. And then of course, all hell broke loose. So we had to get the word out. But before we take a look at that, and actually I'm going to just refresh the page right here. It's still up. So if you have not put in your pre-order, it's still available. And Michael, go ahead and tell them how they can get their Snake Mountain.
Yeah, so there, I dropped a link to the pre-order of Snake Mountain. If you haven't done it, it's in the description. Really easy. Just click the link. It should take you over to either the mobile version of Amazon if you're on your phone, or the desktop version. And you can pre-order right here. If you actually try and access the link, the product page to Snake Mountain, it's not going to go anywhere. I don't think they have it ready yet, but somehow they somehow they have this ready, and it works.
Yeah. It works. So our link works. It's still up. Get on Amazon. Go to our link in the description and get your Snake Mountain pre-order, because this thing looks amazing. So let's dive in and take a look at Snake Mountain, at its amazing details. And what I want to do is I want to dive into how this thing was designed. Obviously, it takes its cues from the vintage, but really, there's a lot of Filmation inspired details on here. So let's just remind everybody what the Filmation Snake Mountain looked like. And you can see it's got this like really, pinching like spear, and the snake wraps around the whole mountain, and it's got a little bit of this detail at the snake head. And the thing that's really different about the design of the snake is you can see his head has these really pronounced fangs coming off of it, and this kind of, like I said, this detail around the neck, and then he wraps around the whole spire of the mountain. So if we take a look, let's dive in to Snake Mountain, Michael.
Yeah, really amazed at how this turned out. I really love the way that the microphone was designed. They actually painted the eyes and the mouth this time, which is really cool. It kind of makes them pop.
Yeah, you can see that. Look at, he's got teeth. The mouth is painted in, the eyes are painted in, and that microphone, the wolf's head, is like pure vintage MOTU. I mean, they did an awesome job of that.
Totally.
Totally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they totally nailed the paint app too, from the first prototype.
Oh yeah, the purple on the mountain looks so much better, and then the white with the kind of little hints of gray and black dry brush that are on here. I think they did it really well. They didn't like overdo the color. The first Snake Mountain we saw, it was a little, was it like too pink? It was kind of off, but this is
It was
great.
too gray. Like it looked too whitewashed.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. It was too whitewashed, but something about the color was slightly off. So I think this is a very nice compromise in terms of paint design, and there's all sorts of cool stuff carved into the face of Snake Mountain, both on both sides. Let's take a closer look at all of that great detail. But what I want to do is this. We got this nice image here, and you can see how big the playset is. What I wanted to point out on this image here, you can see it's nearly 27 inches high. So the spot that I had picked out for it, because it was on my first shelf there, it won't fit. So now I gotta find another space for it. But that's okay. Because this is a lot taller than Castle Grayskull is.
Yes.
So because of the tip. But let's take a look at the details on here. And if you look, we've got all these kind of like demon and monster faces. This one kind of looks a little bit like ape-like in here. A few of them carved in, and then the cave with its little vines hanging on the opening, which is really cool, and the bridge here that's got it's like all slime colored. I thought that was a neat addition. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I think all of the additions look awesome. Like I love the little vines, and they're probably like squishy vines, so you can kind of just shove the figures through the holes and stuff like that. But yeah, they added a ton of detail that really is not present in the vintage design. Especially with that snake as well.
Oh, definitely. We'll take a look at that in a second. Let's move along to the space, and then we'll work our way to the top. So the demon head here with the little mouth that opens and closes looks great. They did an awesome job with his eyes and the paint apps there. And then the shackles that are hanging here look pretty flexible, so they're not going to snap. Because I know in the vintage one they were very brittle, and I highly doubt that you find a mint example with those not broken. So I know there's a lot of Reaper ones out there to be replaced, but these look like they'll last. So now let's work our way up to the most interesting part of the front facade of Snake Mountain here. So give me your take on this.
Yeah, I actually really like what they did with that spire. It definitely brings in that Filmation vibe, and I think it completes the look of the playset. Like I think in the vintage line, it was kind of weird just to have a gate hanging out in the middle of nowhere, and it actually looks like it's set into a mountain, which is cool.
Yeah, I think that it was a fantastic bit of detail. And then you can see here on the top of the gateway, there's a bat, carved into the top, and of course we have the wolf's head on the gate itself, and there's some more detail along either side. And then let's take a look at that the snake itself. So this is again, taking its cues from the snake from the Filmation cartoon, and you can see really here those big fangs, that are very pronounced on the head. So I wonder does that look like it's got an articulated jaw that can kind of like attack a foe, like close, do you think?
Yeah, so I dropped the description in here, and it says, let's see, the snake on top can pick up a 5.5-inch scale Origins figure in its mouth or knock it off the upper platform. So yeah, it's definitely articulated, and I think your favorite piece, that collar, is how you manipulate that.
and Michael's being so sarcastic because from the moment they announced Snake Mountain, I was like, what the hell's going on around his neck? Why does he have this weird collar? And I was hoping every time they showed more pictures that it would eventually go away, that it was part of the prototype, and I was absolutely wrong. So it's still there, so I'm going to have to learn to love it. I know they were trying to kind of mimic a little bit of this design. I think it's a little heavy, especially in that image, you can see it. But that aside, I think this is an amazing playset, and we can take a look at, what it looks like in these incredible diorama shots here, sitting in the world of Eternia. These are fantastic. Here's a better shot of that snake head. And you can see right now it's kind of in its closed position.
Yeah, a lot of playability with this set. And King Panther says, I will shove Ram Man through the Snake Mountain hole, Michael. All right, yes, please do that. Send me a video when you get this. Shove Ram Man through that hole. You know, I'm sure,
we want to see
Silver K's got something to say about that too.
I'm not even gonna go there. So here you can see the other half of Snake Mountain, the other half of the clamshell. Again, a nicer, closer image of the snake head. There's a lot of great detail in that snake head, which is fantastic. And there you can see the hinge where it opens and closes. And again, that big collar. And then here we have an amazing view of everything that comes packed with Snake Mountain. And I saved the interior for last. We will flip it around and look inside, but I wanted to take a look at the outside first. And when we get to the inside, you're going to see all this incredible stuff. But you get a ladder, you get a spider. There's a couple little creatures right here. Skeletor's bone throne. I mean, my God, that's awesome. That's the slime covered bridge. And then look at this, Michael. There's a weapons rack on here, and the weapons are green.
That was a total surprise to me because I only thought the weapons rack came with Castle Grayskull, but I think I love that because it's gonna go so well with the Skeleton Warriors.
Yeah, and exactly, and they're colored green. And do you think they actually glow in the dark?
Oh, good question. I don't know. I would love that.
It might be. And I think, if you look closely at this, and we'll get a better view when we look at the inside, this is the same shield that came with Battle Armor Skeletor. So it's got that little Skeletor head in the middle right there. Cool. And then, of course, this is that little standard short, sword, and then we got the spear. So that's a reuse of parts, but this is a new design for the weapons rack, which is really cool. And that's the same ladder we got with Castle Grayskull. But I mean, the bone throne, to have that for Origins is so cool.
Yeah, that is awesome. And Skeletor definitely needs his throne. He needs a bone throne. And what a great way.
And let's go ahead. He absolutely does, right? Let's go ahead and take a look at where Skelly's going to hang out. Let's look at the interior.
Yes.
So give me your thoughts on the interior.
Yeah. Before we get, Allison is digging the little critters too. And actually wanted to make a comment on that first because the title of this listing on Amazon, it says it references 2 figures. And so if it's got figures coming with it, I think we would have seen them in these shots, but I think they're referring to those 2 little critters as the figures.
Exactly.
But I know that there's another spider in there that's a 3rd critter, so I'm not going to rule out that they might throw in a couple figures, and I don't know what those would be, but it's highly unlikely given the price point at $80.
I totally agree with you. I know Mega J Retro was hoping for maybe this being a hit of a couple Skeleton Warriors. That would be kind of cool. But again, I do think that these are the figures, quote unquote figures it comes with. I know Amazon is overly articulated when it comes to their descriptions on the listings are extremely, extremely long. So I'm not going to read too much into that.
We don't want to talk about really long things on here, but I do want to mention that Silver K just changed her account to her Peaches and Pickles account, which is she also is on there on Instagram too. So just follow her account there. Follow her at Silver K. She's a hoot. So appreciate the levity, Silver K.
She's cracking me up. So as a matter of fact, where these critters are sitting in the little acid pit here, you could actually pop those out. And I'm going to use Skeletor as an example. Obviously, y'all know you can pop these out at the torso, and where that little hole is on the bottom of the figure, that plugs in right there into the little acid pit, so it makes it look like they're melting into it, which is really cool.
That is awesome.
So you can plug 2 figures in there. It's a little morbid, but it's
very
cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, what does the chat think about Snake Mountain? Would love to hear your thoughts. I know that there's been a few people that are having some comments right now. Let's see, Adam, if Mattel does a Secrets of Snake Mountain set, I hope it would include Skeletor's table. That's interesting because they did do a Mysteries of Castle Grayskull exclusive. So I think that would be
true. Awesome. That is so true. Maybe a PowerCon exclusive. Just putting it out there. Come on, Mattel.
Yeah, yeah. If Mattel participated in PowerCon, that would be awesome.
Sorry, I meant San Diego Comic Con, not
Yeah, oh,
PowerCon.
yeah,
It just
yeah. It's all good.
that I was like, oh, July, we still have time. So wrong convention. Um, definitely San Diego. So anyway, here's a look at Skeletor's Bone Throne,
Yeah.
and you can place it, up here on this level or down below
Mhm.
by the dungeon area. And of course, you got the ladder, and this is mimicking the old speaker uh, mechanism that used to be in the vintage. They
Mhm.
had that design on it, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
And here's a spider, and I think he attaches in a couple different places on the wall, which is pretty neat.
so cool. Yeah, Allison is digging the interior for this one much more
Mhm.
than the vintage one.
Yeah.
Damien, and I think Damien might be from Scotland because he asked, I think, if we shipped our merch to Scotland, but you have to
Oh,
see if the print on demand company ships there. But it says he looks
yeah, for sure.
super. SX HBK must buy. Joe, what is up, my friend? Pre-ordered, yes.
Yay.
So cool. Love
That
it,
is
but
awesome.
need more weapons and table. Yeah.
I know, right? Hey, we got the bone thrown, but so I was gonna say I remember during the presser event when they announced Snake Mountain and revealed it that
Yeah.
the cage over here where your victim drops into can actually be detached, and I think it could be relocated down on the bottom in the dungeon
Mhm.
area, if I'm not mistaken, like
Yeah.
down here. That is pretty cool. I
So
mean, there's a
cool.
lot more play value inside this, and then you can take the wolf's head off and do whatever you want to do with that thing. Um,
Yeah.
here's another view.
Speaking of the wolf's head, like, what do you? So there's I think people are split on the microphone. So some people want a functioning
Yeah.
microphone. Some people are cool with this one. What about you?
Um, it would be fun for like a minute, and then it would just get annoying. So I would be like, okay, like as with most things that make sounds, I'm just like, oh, it's fun to play with, but then you get
Yeah,
tired of hearing it. So I'm okay.
that is
I'm
true.
okay with it. And then
Yeah,
that
but
probably
like,
saved us a good $15 on the price or something, right?
yeah,
No
it'd be so
electronics.
much fun though to like, we should probably have a vintage Snake Mountain so we could just like talk into it in our live streams. So I'm just saying.
I know. I can borrow one because I know the Baroness of Toys does have a vintage Snake Mountain, and the microphone is functioning on it. So maybe I can borrow it from her.
Yes, Mike V said they should have made the microphone a storage area like classics,
Oh
which
yeah,
is, yeah, the classic Snake Mountain was amazing. Actually, the one of our crew members, Pride of Grayskull, just got his, I think, delivered today. So he ordered
yeah.
a classic Snake Mountain. So we'll have to show that sometime. I mean, that's a really neat
That
set.
it's a really neat set. Actually, as a matter of fact, I saw it today. I went toy hunting this morning at my
Nice.
favorite collectible shop, where I picked up Mechanic because he's just hanging out with me. This is Classics Mechanic, and they did have a Classics Snake Mountain boxed, like on display up above the shelf, and I was like, "Wow, that's incredible!" If I had room for it, I would have loved to take that thing home.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta
So
let me know the price on that one. I'll have to maybe drive down to your house and pick it up.
yeah, I will. I will let you know exactly how much that costs. It's a fun
Let's see.
store. Blast
Yeah,
from the Past in Burbank. That's the
awesome.
name of the store. It's a great shop.
So cool. Let's see. Hylian droid. A little weird that they painted the bottom skulls on the throne, but not the top. Only nitpick. I can even point out this set is just perfect.
Right here.
Yes, there's always going to be little nits here and there, but it's amazing.
Mhm.
Toys
Yeah.
of Time Gone By. Really cool to see you. We chat on Instagram a lot. Yes, and you are very welcome. Glad you ordered one today.
That's awesome. That is awesome. And I think when they are doing these sets and they're trying to keep at a certain price point, they've got like a limited number of deco hits in terms of how much they could paint. So
Mhm.
they I guess they choose their paint wisely and then do a mixture of stickers to help keep the cost down. So
Yeah.
in terms of the bone throwing, I think it looks good.
Yeah, yeah, I think the Bone Throne looks great, and if Wes from the Netherlands from Mad Force Customs is getting his 3D printer all said we're going to show off a Masterverse bone throne that he made. That's awesome at some point.
You're still waiting for that thing to make its way over, right?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Cora had a nice thing here. They should do a doable use a Bluetooth speaker in replacement for the microphone. Yeah, I mean, I think that would definitely up the cost. But one thought I had was like they could easily do like a special edition Snake Mountain, charge a higher price point, and include all of the things that they left out or didn't want a tool.
Yeah, that could be maybe like a little add-on piece. So Helder Santos says that my mic still works on my original Snake Mountain, but I don't use it. And he's missing the battery cover. Oh, yeah, I know. It's fun for a little bit, but doing a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive add-on set for Snake Mountain is a great idea. Maybe it can include a little Bluetooth speaker and Skeletor's table and a couple other little characters to add into here. That'd be wonderful.
That would be awesome. So cool.
All right. So I think we took a really good look at Snake Mountain. These are incredible photos, amazing, official images that were released today, and we got a lot of news to cover. So do you want to jump on to the next item?
Yes, I do. Yeah, just also before we go into that, just want to give a heads up to that Entertainment Earth is dropping their pre-order on the 28th. And so if you prefer to buy from Entertainment Earth, that is also cool as well. We'll be circulating the link to that once that pre-order goes live too. So you have
and something to keep in mind if you want a minty fresh box, you'll probably have a better chance at getting one from EE, right?
Yeah. Oh, definitely, yeah, because they make sure that you get the cream of the crop. So
exactly.
Awesome. All right, we're gonna do we're gonna move on, and we're gonna do something interesting. Oh yeah, you could. Yeah, do you want to cover that?
Okay. I'm sorry. Did you want to jump on something else first?
No, we can cover this, and then we can do the Dragon Blaster Skeletor and Snake Base stuff.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is real quick. So yesterday, the Foosh put out this image, and it teased, something new for 23, and basically says, "Whoa, Skeletor is sending a transmission from across the void. Something new is coming soon. Keep it right here next week." And so Geek Dad Life also put up something on his Instagram page saying that there's going to be some new announcements on Tuesday. So if you guys remember way back at the beginning of the year, Skeletor had his little, hey, it's going to be a Skelebration this year. And they mentioned they're going to be kind of bringing back Mo Tuesdays. I guess using Tuesday as a day to do some drops. Well, I put on my my sleuth hat yesterday and started staring at this thing and said to myself, can I had some theories brewing in my mind, Michael, because this isn't just any old Skeletor that's sitting on this display, and that's not just any old display either. So started putting two and two together. So if you take a look, so my original theory when we had the Skelebration announced at the beginning of the year was twofold. One, that we most likely would get a single release for the 40th anniversary Masterverse Skeletor. That could be a given. But my second was that last year was the year of He-Man, and we got, of course, that He-Man 4-pack, which was based on the different animated series for He-Man. So if this is this year's Skelebration, why aren't we going to get one for Skeletor? That was what I thought back then. So in seeing this image, my mind started to work, and I said to myself, that's not the Skeletor we have right now. His jaw looks different. It looks, it's got a slightly different head sculpt. But this is the Skeletor we're used to. And then, it came to my mind, the Skeletor that was released with the Screech 2-pack. This one, and he's got that articulated jaw that you see in the various different images. Sorry. Now, this head remarkably looks very similar to that one, except obviously he's got his classic colors and his purple armor and everything. So I said to myself, they would not make a new head sculpt for Skeletor and not reuse it somewhere. This image is of a brand new Skeletor, and he is sitting in no other than a CRTV screen, right? which is obviously the old school TVs, the tube TVs we had in the 80s. And if you take a look at this computer console, they haven't made this yet. It's not part of Snake Mountain. It's not part of the Talon Fighter, but it is very much Filmation and 80s inspired. So my putting everything two and two together, my thought is that this is a hint for the Skeletor through the years 4-pack, which would include, obviously Filmation Skeletor, the New Adventure Skeletor, a new version of 2000X Skelly, and of course the CGI Skeletor. So that was my theory. I put it out there. We'll wait and see till Tuesday. But what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, when you told me this yesterday, I was like, you know what, you actually might be onto something because, yeah, I love that you were looking at the details because, like, I just looked at that image and I was like, okay, cool, it's Skeletor on the screen, but like you actually were like trying to put two and two together. So we love the toy source.
I absolutely was trying to put my hat on there.
That's awesome. Yeah, I totally hope that they do that because I need something else to go on the wall to accompany all the 4 other He-Mans that we have.
Yeah, I know, right? I got a couple of them here. But they are incredible and they're lonely. They need their counterparts. I'd really be looking forward to the New Adventures version of him because I love the counterpart, the He-Man one. So that's going to be really cool. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see if that happens. But that was my theory.
I love that theory, and I think I think a couple folks in the chat too were kind of right on with you. Toys of Time Gone By wonders if it's actually going to be a Skeletor 4-pack. I wonder if it's hopefully won't be that $150 we're seeing with the He-Man 4-pack still available. So yeah, I mean, I probably going to be around the same price point if they do one. I don't see why it would be less.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and now we're going to dive into something really cool that Michael's got prepared for us. And Michael, why don't you tell the folks what you were lucky enough to receive this week, and you're going to share it with everybody.
Yeah, so we're going to do something a little bit different. And so we actually have a live demo of Dragon Blaster, Skeletor, and Snakeface. And I want to give a huge shout out to Blaine, who is a friend of the channel on Instagram. We chat a lot, lives very close to the place where he picked this up. Of course, if you follow the channel, if you follow the website, you know where these figures came from. So what I have to do is actually go off screen. So let me manipulate my camera here.
Yep.
All right. Make sure we get, all right. So I'm going to go off screen and let's see. I think there's an echo again, Sorceress. So if you could mute, maybe.
I will mute.
Thank you. But please interject and actually talk to me during this thing because I don't want to talk all by myself. I don't want to be lonely.
Okay. I will be here. I'm just going to mute in between, but Peaches and Pickles. Oh my God, you're cracking me up. Are we getting some squirting action? I'm not even going to go there.
So funny. All right. So yeah, very happy to get Dragon Blaster Skeletor very early. And again, thank you so much, Blaine. I do have the vintage figure to go alongside of it, but just really wanted to just kind of show off some of the details. And I think if you look at the entire figure buck itself, it's basically a reuse of, I think, that vintage Skeletor that kind of came as version 2, that version 2 Skeletor. And the armor looks really good, and just kind of looking at the vintage figure side by side, the armor on the Origins figure looks a little oversized. It's not form-fitting, so I'm thinking that they might have if they have used the Classics one, because I know that they did reuse some of the Classics armor for the Masters of the WWE Universe figures. And so maybe that they just reuse that part, but it's actually a really awesome display piece. And I really like how they did the armor. It's obviously a different shade of purple than the vintage one, but overall, I think the presentation of Dragon Blaster Skeletor is awesome, and it really amazes me that they can pull off so many different looks of these figures, just reusing the same bucks and adding different armor and critters and stuff like that. What do you think, Toy Sorceress?
I think it looks incredible. And as a matter of fact, it said, Frankie mentions that Entertainment Earth sent his out yesterday. That's cool.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
obviously you have one in hand. So hopefully they'll start shipping to everybody. That's great. But I think he looks incredible. I love how the green and the blue colors on Skeletor and the pink pop. The dragon looks super cute. They did a great job recreating that and including his little lock there. The chain is fantastic because it's actual metal. Is it a little long to
Yeah.
you? I mean, I think the chain could be shortened because maybe you
Yeah.
just take a little plier to take some loops off of it, right? Because it ends
Yep.
in just a chain at the end, right?
Yeah, it is. It is very long, and actually, I had this wrapped around the dragon's neck, with the lock too, and I think it had come.
He's in trouble. He's in timeout.
It's like bonded Skeletor, right?
Exactly. What'd you do, Dragon? He's been squirting people he shouldn't be.
Squirting
No,
and
but
bondage
he's
is what
really
we're
cool, and
talking
I can't
about
wait
right
to get him. The other thing I wanted to mention is that clasp that goes on his wrist. I know that the vintage one is very brittle, and he's just having a fun time not standing there. It's okay.
Yeah.
And is that one the new one made of a much pliable plastic to wrap around his wrist, or is it like a hard plastic?
It's a much pliable plastic, and so yeah, I'm always afraid of breaking things, and I definitely I was really careful to put the cuff on the vintage figure because I know that plastic is super brittle too. But yeah, it's oversized, and you can actually bend it pretty well.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love that.
Yeah.
Have
Yeah.
you tried to use the squirting feature yet?
No, and actually, I didn't do this with Snout Spout. I don't like to put water in my figures because I'm just
Mhm.
worried about mold, and like I know that I could dry it out, but it always worries me that I'm gonna miss something.
You know what? I didn't even think about that. And my first snout spout's in his case, and he's probably getting moldy as we speak. Now I gotta go check him.
Yeah. Yeah, but I wanted to
You
point
know,
out just some of the differences between the vintage and the origins figure. So obviously, like the cuffs are different. They're also a different shade of green plastic. The chain from the vintage figure to the origins figure is much smaller. And so yeah, I think you were pointing
mhm.
that out
Yeah,
earlier too. That yeah, this chain is really really long. But also,
yeah.
man, the dragon is just a heck of a lot. We got a chunky dragon in the house here. Like the head is bigger, the body is a little bigger. It looks
They're
it
they're
looks
into
really
chunky stuff lately, right?
cool. Yeah. But yeah, different shades of purple on the dragon. Like the head on the vintage figure is much more like I think the
Mhm.
dragon overall is much more compact than the
Yeah.
Origins one. But I think they did a really amazing job. I think my only nit with this is like just getting the armor to cinch down because you do have a tiny little gap, and I could probably close that up
Yeah, I
a
see
little
that.
bit more. But
I see
I think
that.
overall, the figure looks amazing.
They absolutely do. I was just cracking up at Brennan Barnes' comment because this is something kind of special to me. But he said Wonder Twin powers activate, which is so cool because we got both twins here, and I Super Friends was one of my absolutely favorite cartoons growing up. But that just cracked me up seeing the two Skellies next to each other. So and then one's a shape of water, and the other one turns into some kind of organic form.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Also, the lock it's less detailed than the vintage version, so there's no rivets on the lock that
Oh
come with
yeah,
the Origins one, and it's much bigger. So like everything is just on a
it
little bit
is.
bigger scale with the Origins figure, which I think looks great.
I think it looks fantastic, and the colors. I really love the brighter colors of it. Not that the vintage one is not bright, but the Origins one just really pops, which is fantastic. I mean, when you look at your Origins shelf, all of the figures pop, and it looks great. I am going to test mine out and squirt it with water and I'll figure out how to clean it up afterwards. But that's half the fun, man. That thing
That is true.
he needs to blast somebody.
That is true. I'm
Pop
gonna have to
Actor
go back and look.
says, "Will blast me away."
Well, blow me down. What's up, Pop Actor? Yeah, I'm gonna have to actually go back and look at the chat because I'm sure that there's a lot of funny things going on. I just have my attention turned to other things, obviously. But yeah, I mean, if anybody has any questions or anything about the figure, happy to field those. But overall, it looks great. He does come with his purple power sword too, which I forgot to put with him. I actually don't have the power sword for the vintage one, so that is something that I need to get. But overall, really, really nice figure.
So Meg has a really good tip here that says it might sound bizarre, but to avoid mold, maybe use alcohol instead of water for the spray feature. I mean, I guess you can do that. Just be careful what you're spraying at, right?
I know, it's like, don't spray it in your eyes, right?
No, of course not.
All right, so all right, I'm gonna.
So Pop Actor said because he wanted to thank you because of you, he bought Snake Mountain. So
you're very welcome. Like I always say this, like we're all in this together. Like it's not about one single person, it's about the community. So we're always happy to spread the joy and spread the love of what we love the most. So very happy to do that.
Yeah. And hey, Michael, I was going to also ask you, what do you think of this head sculpt on Dragon Blaster Skeletor? So it's slightly adjusted, right? The eyes look like they're a little wider and more red. It looks like the paint detail around his face is a little bit better in terms of having that kind of pop of yellow and then the green that wraps around it. It's a little bit newer than the previous head sculpts we've gotten, right? Like it's more
I feel
vintage.
like it is, and yeah, I think that's a great point. I think they do have some darker green shading around the hood, kind of where the forehead is and around the chin. And yeah, I think the eye sockets look a little, different.
Yeah. So I think they did a fantastic job with this one. Why don't we go ahead and look at his other deluxe counterpart? I know, and your favorite figure, right?
Yes, definitely. I want to give a shout out to Blaine, who just popped on the chat. Blaine, thank you so much for getting me these figures. Like it was a huge surprise and really appreciate it. And, we can show these off to the community and really, really appreciate your friendship and just you getting us these figures too. So, but yes, let me
go ahead and switch them out. Blaine, thank you for sending those to Michael. You are awesome.
Snake face and see. All right, let me get Dragon Blaster Skeletor out of here. And all right, my vintage snake face does not stand up, and so he's just going to lean in the back. He's going right there,
be like a cool dude leaning against the wall. So Santos Carrillo also says that he's getting both of his in about a week from Entertainment Earth as well, and that his orders went through on Friday. I have to check mine because I know my Skeletor Screech 2-pack did it is processing, but I didn't notice Skeletor and Snakeface, so I definitely will go back. And everybody, go ahead and check yours as well, because that'd be awesome if they're shipping out soon.
Yeah. So, all right, moving on to Snakeface, who needs to stand up. Yeah, this is one of my favorite figures, and you can kind of see some of the similarities and differences that they had with the vintage figure here. Just because they gave Snakeface an articulated head in the vintage design, this whole thing was just they had to basically just put the head. It wasn't articulated. They actually had to mold it onto the body. So it's a very cool homage to the figure, and very glad that they have put in this action feature that you can pull down, so it still retains his action feature. But the only thing that they did change was you don't have a lever for his action feature anymore, but so in the vintage figure you could you can pull the lever up, and creates a really cool effect. It actually brings the snakes down. Wow. It brings the head, the snakes out of the head. It brings the snakes down from his chest too. But with this one, they left that action feature out, and they, we have an alternate head for Snake Face. So it's we can take a look at this right now. And I
Oh,
think
that's
one of
cool.
the cool things about this is just a lot of the sculpted detail is just coming out a heck of a lot more on the Origins
Look at
design.
the paint apps. Wow.
Yeah, the paint
Those
apps are
look
great.
great.
Yeah, and then like you could barely tell that there's a snake on the vintage one, but with
Mhm.
the way that they did the molding and sculpting and just the paint apps, the snakes really pop on this figure. And of
Those
course,
look
looks super,
fantastic.
super creepy with all of the snakes coming
Yeah,
out.
it does. I don't have this is one of the rare vintage figures I don't have. But he's really cool, and now he's like growing on me, so I might have to pick up a vintage version of him because I always love the action features on these. But he looks great, and all of that nice paint applications on his shoulders, how it's like sprayed on like that. That looks fantastic. I mean, they
Oh, it
went all
does.
out. Those are brand new arm sculpts, and the torso, all of it. His waist is new, and I think doesn't he have new feet as well?
I
I don't know
believe
if those
so
have been used
because yeah, I
already.
don't think I've
Yeah.
seen these like they're more web feet, but I
Hmm.
think like I thought at first they were either from Merman or Zodak, but I don't think so because I think they had like a little bit pointed or feet
Yeah,
with some
Merman and
spaces
Zodiac
in
have,
between the
I
toes.
think, more of the creature feet,
Yeah.
right? That's very
Um,
cool.
yeah, and I think some of the like I think they did a great job with the overspray on the
Hmm.
on the arms here because I think on the vintage figure it just kind of stops and it looks like he's kind of wearing just like a I don't know. There's a seam here where the paint is, and I think they did a good job blending it. The only thing that
Yeah,
is different from like the upper body perspective is the vintage one has some like green paint on the neck and
yeah,
also on the back of the neck, but they just chose to leave it gray on this one. So I think that's pretty much where they deviate aside from the action feature.
yeah. No, that looks fantastic. I can't wait to get this one. I'm totally jelly that you have it before me, but it's
I know
very
it's really
cool.
rare.
It is
It's really
rare,
rare that I get
especially with
Origins
Origins.
figures before you, but
Yeah, I'm
which is
usually the
nice because
one
you actually
like,
got a break on the review on this one. So if you want to see still
oh my god,
images,
it's been a while.
I know, right?
Yep. And
If
then
you
they
want to see
usually come
still
in like
images,
waves, so I have to review like four figures at once.
yeah. Yeah, and then just really quickly, we wanted to take just a look at the staffs, and so this is the same staff that comes with King Hiss and some of the other Snake Men, and it's cast in a darker plastic than the vintage one. So on the vintage one, we had it was cast in more of a like a lighter green. This is the Origins one is more of a darker green. So
Hmm.
that's
Oh
that's
wow.
also one of the main differences in there. And then on the shields, I don't know if this shows up on camera, just the
Yeah, it
scale of the
does.
shield. So the
Oh, there
my
you go.
right hand has the Origins one, and in the left hand, I have the vintage one.
That has some really great detail, like the scaling of the snakes. That looks fantastic. I love that. Um, Peaches and Pickles says, "Smack that like, y'all. Smack that like button if you haven't hit it already. Please make Peaches and Pickles happy there."
Yeah, definitely
Uh,
tells YouTube that we're doing a good job and it helps people find the channel. So appreciate it. Yeah, I remember one comment that I'm recalling is like somebody was saying like, why didn't I find this channel sooner? But it's all good. You're here now and we're happy to have you. One thing that I wanted to
yep.
point out is that on the back of the shield, they actually sculpted a bunch of details. So
Oh
it's like
wow.
on the front you have the snakes, but then on the back it looks like the bottom of the snakes, which wasn't present on the vintage shield. So I thought that was a nice
That
upgrade.
looks incredible that they went through that extra detail on there.
Yeah.
I'm amazed. Like really really amazed. We do have there's one comment here about Duplico, even though we're not talking about it says I hope Duplico goes up for sale online soon. So Michael, do you want to share the intel you got on that? Or are we
Yeah,
gonna
so
wait?
our we have intel that Duplico's street date is actually May 1st, and so that is coming up very soon. So hopefully we'll see that in stores, and it's supposed to be a Walmart exclusive. And so we've had the link for a while, but it's been out of stock because I don't think they put it up for sale yet. So that's something to look
So,
forward to, and hopefully you'll find it in your local Walmart.
so all of you guys that are watching right now just heard breaking news that supposed street date for Duplico is May 1st. I actually, as a matter of fact, have one coming tomorrow from an undisclosed location. And Michael, I will be sending one up to you. And look out for a review on Duplico. I know he's been wandering out a little bit, but since he's been so elusive, I am going to review him because I think he's cool. But that's great news to hear that he might be coming out soon.
Yes. All right. All right. I think that does it. That's a wrap for the figures. So yeah, very, very happy to show these, and thank you again for thank you again to Blaine for getting these to me so we can share them with you all. So let me just switch my camera back, because the software that we're using does not allow me to have two cameras, which is very annoying, but it's all good. We figured out a workaround.
Pop Actor was asking how the heck you got him already, and Blaine was nice enough to pick up Snakeface and Dragon Blaster Skeletor for Michael and ship it up to him, and we are ever so grateful. So that is how Michael got him already.
All right, let me shut all these lights off so I can have a normal looking. There we go. That's better.
Now you got the color back in your face.
Yes. All right. So related to Dragon Blaster Skeletor and Snakeface, their mini comic, we wanted to transition into teases that we saw in the mini comic, which is very exciting because Fangor and the Snake Goddess, which is probably a character that is not it's not typical. You don't hear about the Snake Goddess in MOTU lore very often, but she is in the mini comic. But I wanted to address something. I know that there was a leak of Fangor, maybe like 3 weeks ago or a month ago already. Geez, I don't even know. I don't have a concept of time anymore. But the person who, I guess, had those images circulating around asked us to take it down. So, we wanted to respect. We always respect people. If we put something up that they don't want, we always take it down, which doesn't happen very often. But I just wanted to mention that Fangor is probably coming to the line, and so this tease is very apropos and very timely.
Yeah. That is incredible. So I don't have this mini comic yet, but I did see a peek of it, and somebody was reviewing the comic itself, and that was my first thought. Like, I guess that's pretty much a confirmation that Fangor is coming to the line.
I hope so, and it's really interesting because when I looked at the mini comic, I thought that basically this was a transformation sequence of Fangor, but it looks like they're setting up Fangor to be an army builder, because if you look at some of the other images in here, there's basically two Fangors in here with different waists. He's got the tusks and the longer fangs, he's Fangor, and the shorter fangs, and so he's with Snakeface.
Now you're gonna call him Tuskor.
I know, Tuskor, right? I think we already had a Tuscador.
We have one, so
yeah. My bad.
Oopsie.
But very cool to see, and also, I was chatting with Allison about the Snake Goddess, and I think I made a comment in this article that she basically looks like battleground Tila from the waist down, and so if they do make this figure, we could also see a couple other figures probably coming out of this buck, but yeah, I think the Snake Goddess is, I think, the main villain in this particular mini comic, and I think it's very cool. One thing that I do want to point out, and let me open this up in a new tab, and let's see if we can. No, looks like I don't have those controls anymore to zoom in, but hopefully you can see this fine. There's a two-headed Fangor here, and Allison was saying, like, when they do Too Bad, they could totally reuse that Too Bad buck for a two-headed Fangor. I thought that was an awesome thing to kind of put two and two together.
Yeah, and I don't think we've seen a Snake Man type Too Bad figure at all in MOTU lore. That seems pretty pretty new here because obviously Too Bad is the only character we've seen with two heads, and that would be actually it would make a lot of sense in the fact that it's going to be very expensive tooling for Mattel to create a Too Bad figure, and obviously right now it's like it would be a one and done, and they spend all this money on tooling on Too Bad, and they can't really get much more out of them unless they just start to do like a mini comics color or some other variant. But I think that is a brilliant move that they could use maybe some of the existing Snake Man heads and then the Too Bad double-headed torso. So that would be cool.
That would be awesome. Yeah, it would actually be really neat, to have these figures made because, I think everybody really likes the Snake Men, and like I don't think people care what Snake Men they make. They just want all the Snake Men. So just make all the Snake Men.
They're all really cool. And you can include some more rattles and action, some little action features in them. I love all that.
That would be cool. But yeah, so Fangor, I think I took some screenshots of just everywhere where the Fangors plural show up. So they're here, and I think if we look at the classics figure, we unfortunately we can't show that leaked one because we were asked to take it down, but it looks very similar to the classics figure anyway, just in Origins Buck. But very cool. I actually have this one, and he's a fun figure. I don't know, he's like the mechanic of the Snake Man. He comes with like a wrench and a screwdriver.
I was going to ask if he came with some tools.
He's got tools.
Is he like Cooter and he fixes all the vehicles for them?
Yeah, you got Dukes of Hazzard on the mind since our stream.
I do. I'm still thinking about that from last week.
Yes. Sunnyshine, not sure how I feel about Fangor being an army builder or two-headed. He's cool enough as he is. Yeah, I agree. Like if they just make a regular one, that's fine. But I'm also happy if they want to make this more of a deluxe type of figure, or a 2-pack and an army builder. Like a lot of people can't say no to army builders anyway, so it's just like printing money for Mattel.
I got an extra Snake Trooper here I haven't opened yet, just because I was like, I can't have just one. Like they're always standing. There's two troopers together, so
yeah. But yeah, I think in the classics version, I think we do see this in the comic too, that there's a longer fanged version of Fangor and then a shorter version. But man, it looks really ugly. Like it looks like, I don't know, this like I think the color of the mouth looks like blood red to me. It's like he's actually like bitten through somebody.
Oh geez, it kind of reminds me
graphic.
Of the Masterverse Trapjaw. You remember when we first got that and his mouth was like wide open?
Yeah,
like just please close it.
Yeah,
couldn't get that image out of my mind.
Shut that mouth. I agree with you, Rob. Ace was an awesome guest, friend of the channel, super cool guy, and can't wait to see what else Ramen has coming out. Yeah, so this is all the places that the Snake Goddess is in the mini comic. And actually, just for a bit of history, she did appear in the mini she made the first appearance in an Italian magazine in a comic there in '89. And so she had yet to appear in American media until now. And also just referencing too, like the people, I got this image off of Pinterest, but I think a lot of these unofficial bios come from the He-Man.org forum. So there's a lot of people making these unofficial bios, but here's where the Snake Goddess came from in the vintage comic from Italy in '89. And here we always like to look at custom concepts for these things, and I know that for these are based on the classics Bucks. Nobody has made a Snake Goddess Origins custom to my knowledge, but I thought this one was really cool because it definitely basically took Battleground Tila and turned it into the Snake Goddess.
That would be a great way to get another use out of that new Buck. For her, the new torso sculpt. So they're always thinking, and this thing could make like a nice paperweight on your desk or something.
I doubt that they would do this like smoke ring, but anything's possible, right? If Mattel wants to eat some more money,
it just looks so weighty, right?
Yeah.
Like
Enrique is actually Kiko Prime on Instagram. So yeah, she went to
Oh,
the Eternity in Victoria's Secret. Shout out to Kiko, like friend of the channel, very funny guy. I love hearing from him. So yeah, it's fun. Funny guy. He's the guy who had the Toy Habits crew shirt. In the
yeah.
video.
Thanks for sharing that picture. That was awesome. You look very happy in your new shirt. I hope it's comfortable. These are super soft, by the way. I don't know if
Yeah.
we like mentioned it, but I tried to
Oh, they
pick
are
some
soft.
out that were going to be like a nice, the ones that are labeled tri-blend especially are very soft, like
So
supple
soft.
shirts.
Awesome. So I added the images of the mini comic to this review. So if you want to see still images, and I did take a couple short videos of just showing off some of the parts and pieces of Dragon Blaster, Skeletor, and Snakeface. You can always check that out on the website.
Very cool.
All right.
Awesome.
All
Do
right.
we want to dive into our next news item?
Sure. Yeah. What else do you got on tap?
So we got a couple other things to talk about that are not MOTU related that came out late this week. So I know you guys have been seeing a lot about the Indiana Jones retro collection, Wave 2, which includes Indy from the Temple of Doom, and, of course Dr. Jones, and Indy from the Last Crusade, and you got Short Round over here, and I forget this guy's name. Sala. That's Sala in his other outfit. That's why he threw me off. So those are actually making their rounds in Europe right now, and so they should be showing up in the States hopefully very soon. But and I think the one weighted character that everybody is wanting is the Last Crusade version of Indy. He's really cool because this is a never before made figure that's got, he's got his little tie, and he has an awesome card back where he's riding the motorcycle. He is going to be a Pulse, Amazon.com, and fan channel exclusive. So, as a matter of fact, yesterday, the only site that got this up was Entertainment Earth. So, if you want Retro Indy in his Last Crusade outfit, he's a never been made figure. He's up on EE. We got the link on our website on toyhabits.com. He's up for pre-order, and the other figures are going to be released through Target. So the rest of the wave you're going to be able to get in Target stores. But this is not the Indy figure that you're talking about, Toys of Time Goes By. That's Wave 1 Indy, who is from the Raiders of the Lost Ark. He's got a darker jacket on. He doesn't have the tie. He comes with his whip and his gun. This right here is a brand new version of Indy from the Last Crusade. He has a brown jacket, a tie. He's got this little satchel, which is really cool. He comes with the chalice and a gun. So this is a brand new version of Indy. I already pre-ordered mine. Kind of exciting that he's up for pre-order. And when he comes up on the other websites, Amazon and the other fan channels and Hasbro Pulse, we'll let you guys know. And as a matter of fact, I just wanted to give a little shout out that we did do a shop page. Some Indiana Jones shop pages here for anybody who are fans. You go to shop and you can go to Indiana Jones. We got all of the Adventure Series figures on here and all of the retro collection. And you can go ahead and find all the figures and the links to all the different favorite retailers to pick them up. So that's Indy news that we have. And then one other thing dropped yesterday, but I don't know if you have something to add, Michael.
Well, I don't, but Peaches and Pickles, we are talking whips. Mike Fee says we're talking chains, so we're going off the rails on this one again. So, but we love it.
Yes,
so we wouldn't have it any other way.
Whips and chains. There you go. So this one right here, that's the first wave retro. You can see he's a little different with a darker jacket and no tie. And that's the second wave Indy right here. So you can see the difference between the two. And this one's really cool. I mean, I really love that version. And eventually we will get a never before made figure of Henry Jones and Sala. All of these are never before made retro style, Kenner style figures. They've never come out with them before. So the wave 2 is very exciting. And then, we'll see what else drops, but those are very cool. I think that's all I have to say about Indy.
Awesome.
And we have some other news of something we haven't really covered too much on the site, but there is some brand new TMNT figures. I love Ninja Turtles. I know, Michael, you don't really collect these, but there's a brand new movie by Seth Rogen coming out, which it's an animated film. It's Turtles Mutant Mayhem, and the
Nice.
new Playmates figures are really cute. So we had the packages revealed for them online. I mean, these have a super animated look. They're totally adorable. You got, Donnie here has glasses because he's the kind of the scientist, the engineer of the group. Um, but these new packages look incredible. They've got the classic kind of brick motif for each of the figures. Mikey looks very goofy like he always does. There's Ralph. Donatello right there again with his glasses. He even comes with headphones, which is really cool.
That's awesome.
And then these are the Ninja Shout versions of the figures. These are 5.5 inch that they actually like talk when you articulate them, which those are pretty cool. And then we got some kind of giant vintage style, but obviously in this animated style, they did do those giant turtles. So this is the Ninja Turtle Mutant Mayhem version of them. Remember, you were trying to find me that classic Mikey
Yes.
Forever at Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
So they did do 12-inch versions of those, and these come
Nice.
with 2 weapons each. So you get 2
Dang.
blades with Leo and 2 sides for Raphael. I think those are the only 2 that are made so far. And then you've got a couple vehicles here. This cool battle cycle that you can have Ralphie ride around in. It's got a sidecar, so you can put Michelangelo wherever you want on the side, which is pretty neat. That thing like flips around. There's a kick cycle right here. You can put your turtle on it, and it looks like Leonardo is delivering pizza. And you click his pizza on the back, and he can kick the heck out of the other figures, which is really cool.
That's
you can
cool.
see here he's kicking their butts. And then the most exciting reveal, and this is the box packaging art for the party wagon. I know a lot of people love the party wagon. This is the pizza version of the party wagon,
So
and
cool.
it's more updated. It's really cool. There's like a giant slice of pizza on the top, and it's neat, right? So you click on that, the side door opens up, and it reveals this huge pizza thrower that you can put one of your turtles, commanding that, and it launches. This is electronic, mind you. You click the little power button right there, and it shoots out. It comes with eight pizza pies. And you can shoot them at your enemies. So that's really fun. This is going to be a fun one. The box looks incredible. And then that's the back of the box. You can see poor Bebop. I mean, he's getting bashed on like all these packages. So that's it for Turtle News.
That's so cool. Yeah, I mean, I don't collect the stuff, but I can totally dig like all this stuff. So I'm sure I'm going to be looking for that at Target for you or wherever they are going to be showing up at retail. So
I know I will ask you to send me stuff. You know what, Michael? And I want to give you a huge shout out. I didn't get a lot of turtle stuff in my area, and around my birthday, like all this cool classic Playmates turtle things were being released, and Michael sent me this huge birthday care box with like all these different vintage classic turtle stuff in it, and with a vintage Leonardo giant turtle as well. So thank you for that. That was
you are very welcome. I was happy to do it. And happy whatever. I think your birthday was a while ago, but hey, we can celebrate birthdays every day.
Yeah, we had Allison's yesterday, so happy birthday, Allison. I apologize I missed it. I was so swamped.
It's all good. I wanted to circle back to Blaine McGovern or Blaine's comment on whips and chains. Reminds me, what's the word on toy habits after midnight? So toy habits after midnight is morphed into the toy habits hot tub. So I think at the attic level of support, we all jump on to I don't know if we want to call it an after dark or kind of midnight-ish chat where everybody is live on screen. It's actually very fun. So love.
Yeah, we have a great time.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Yeah, and also we if you are a member at the attic level, you can jump on the Discord, which is a lot of fun because we all chat and DM each other throughout the day, share toy hunting finds and just all sorts of cool stuff, and everyone has a great time. And the crew on there is hilarious, and they're so fun and so nice, and just giving a shout out to everybody. So if you want to join in on the fun, go ahead and become a member.
Yeah, it's funny because like, you know, I have Discord going on all the time, and so it's just fun. It's fun to pop in. And actually, like the Attic crew is probably the people that get all this news first because we drop it in there and then drop it in other places.
Yep.
So.
That's the other thing. You get exclusive information first, and you get early access to videos like the review that you did yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I reviewed Bluegrass from the Super 7 Silverhawks Ultimates line, and so yeah, I'm definitely not a Silverhawks collector, but love a few of those figures, and the Toy Sorceress, of course has this one, and I was like, I must have it.
Yes, I know, that was my fault. I influenced you yet again, and thank you, Daniel, for your $2 super chat. Toy Habits loves ninjas. Thank you.
Oh yeah, awesome. Yeah. Daniel and I talk about ninjas all the time. I'm so not a fan of ninjas, but he knows what I'm talking about. But Daniel also runs a channel called Soundtracks with Birdman. So if you want to, go to his channel on YouTube, check him out, subscribe. He does great reviews and talks about soundtracks from the movies we all know and love.
That's awesome. And you know what? It's Pop Actor's birthday. Happy birthday, Pop Actor. Oh my God, that's awesome. I hope you're doing something to celebrate it. You should go celebrate with Allison.
Thank you so much, Toys of Time Gone By. Love this comment. And of course we're biased, but it's nice to hear from him. Just kidding.
Just joking. Why not? Oh my God, that's awesome. Did you?
There was one comment I wanted to circle back on. Question: do we think Mattel will bring Butterfly Woman into MOTU Origins? So, Allison and I were actually talking about She-Ra yesterday on Discord, and I think her feeling is that it's the 40th anniversary of. Can you mute?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. I'm just hearing myself, and I'm like, we were talking about the 40th anniversary of She-Ra, and she's very bullish on Mattel doing a She-Ra line for the 40th anniversary. And so we've also talked about Butterfly Woman as well. Allison was actually the first one to kind of show me pictures of Butterfly Woman because I had no idea who she was. And so I feel like if Mattel does She-Ra, they would definitely do Butterfly Woman, because she was, I guess, if you want to call her the Princess of Power counterpart to the Rulers of the Sun line. That's who she is.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I know that Allison, has lots of feels on this topic, but yeah, I think it's definitely something that is definitely possible.
Yeah, and we'll give shout out to Cora and Blaine, both for having birthdays that were very recently. Happy birthday to you both.
So cool. All right. Anything else that you want to cover off on before we wind down?
I think that was it. We had a lot of news that broke this week, but a lot of exciting. Yeah, next year is going to be She-Ra. I want to see some more pop added to Origins and Masterverse.
So cool.
Are we going to get a Swiftwind? I mean, come on.
We have
to. Yeah. I got the classic Swiftwind, and it cost me a pretty penny. I got to tell you, that was because I bought it recently.
Yes,
way after.
A lot of money for this stuff, but brings us happiness.
Yes, that's all that matters. All right, so look forward to a review on Duplico. It depends on what time he gets here, so maybe the review might come out on Monday. I'm not promising anything. Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah.
if I get frisky, I might do it tomorrow, depending on what time UPS drops them off. But Duplico review will be coming to our site. Even though you guys have seen the heck out of them, I'm still going to review them.
Oh, of course. This is all fun for us, so it's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Very cool. Well, awesome. It was great to catch up with everyone, and we hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. And if you have not ordered Snake Mountain, just go to the description. If you missed the whole segment on Snake Mountain, go to the description here. The link to the pre-order is on Amazon right now. You can order it for $79.99 with its August 26th, 2023 release date.
Yep. Make sure you get your pre-orders in. It's still available as of the beginning of the stream. I haven't looked at it since then.
Yeah,
so if you haven't ordered it,
doesn't
order it now.
Yeah, so jump on it now. You can always do something with it later, if you have second thoughts or if you find it somewhere else.
Yeah, Amazon's easy to modify orders and stuff like that.
Yeah. So thank you, Peaches and Pickles, for your very nice comments, and definitely love hanging out with everyone. And yes, please smack that like. It just smack it, rub it, whatever you want to do with it. Just play around with it.
Yep. And I got to give a shout out to Baroness of Toys. I know she had to log in a little late, but thank you for ordering Snake Mountain. I think I let her know first before I made this go live because I want to make sure she got one. But luckily it's still up. So I guess they made a lot of them.
Cool. All right, everyone. Well, we hope you have a great rest of your weekend, rest of your evening, and that wraps it up for us tonight. And we will see you when we not at our regular time again next week, right?
Yeah, next weekend I have a little conflict, so it'll be on Sunday.
It's all good.
We'll have to bounce back and forth sometimes because we have family life, friends, things. Things come up.
Yeah, we love hanging out with our Toy Habits family, but other family takes priority. Notice how I said other family, not primary family.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, have a great rest of your day, and we will see you next weekend.
Bye, everybody.